Georgia has not missed the college football playoffs since the 2020 season, so of course, facing Florida State in the Orange Bowl this time around is going to have a little bit of a different vibe. I'm joined by our features writer, Gabe Birds. Gabe, how different is the feel this time around for the Bulldogs?
It's less intense, and these guys are going to talk about how it's all the same and they're going to prepare the same way, and that's fine. I have no doubt under Kirby and this staff that they are. But at the same time, it's not the same thing that we're used to now after these last couple of years, right? We're used to these big games that mean everything, and this, I mean, it's not just an exhibition, but when you look at the team they're playing, you know, there's going to be over 20 absences. This is not the same team, Florida State, that went 13-0, so it's just a little hard for, I think, anybody to really feel the intensity and importance of this game, so that's where we are.
Florida State has had so many opt-outs, like you mentioned. Georgia has a couple guys that might be injured, might not play. They have had multiple guys enter the transfer portal, but they haven't had as many opt-outs, including Carson Beck's coming back next year, so he's playing in the Orange Bowl. How big is that for Georgia?
I think it gives Georgia fans something to look forward to. It gives you a real reason to watch and get excited about next year because, again, this team, we watched the Alabama game. They weren't that far off, right? So you look at the pieces that are going to be coming back, and it all starts with Carson and Mike Bobo and the job that they've done offensively. Florida State, their defenders had a lot of nice things to say about this offense today. They spoke really well about the offensive line. You get Ladd McConkey is going to play in what could be his final Georgia game. So you look around at the pieces that they have on offense, and I think that alone is reason for a Georgia fan to be excited to watch Saturday.
You have so many reliable big pieces for Georgia who will play in this game, which does offer a little bit of excitement, even if other reasons maybe are not ample. What is the biggest thing that stands out to you about this spread? Georgia's almost a 20-point favorite. How crazy is that?
It's just, it speaks to how good Georgia is, which we know. I mean, again, this team's lost one game now over 2 years, and it was a 3-point loss to Alabama, right? So, but then you look at FSU, and this was a team that it's up for debate, right? Did the committee make the right decision? But Georgia was a 2-touchdown favorite before a lot of these. Now, that was still without Jordan Travis, and obviously his injury changed everything in how FSU was viewed. But now you see all these guys, you're down your starting running back, you're down a couple of receivers, you're down your tight end, you're on your third string quarterback, you're down your leading sacker, you're down 4 starters on defense. You just go through it all, plus the depth. It's just not the same team. I think it's unfortunate just from a viewer standpoint, because we would all like to see what would this have looked like, these two teams playing at full strength. But really, you look at that line and it just says a lot about where FSU is and what they've lost.
Does it make it tough to evaluate this game? I mean, I want to ask you, what's your biggest matchup to watch? But a lot of the matchups, those guys for Florida State won't be out there.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, again, Brock Glenn, their quarterback, look, to be frank, he was one of the reasons why they're not in the CFP, because the committee was not impressed by his play. And he had an opportunity, and it's not necessarily fair to him. He wasn't ready to play, but so you look at that. I'm still looking at defense. There's still some good players on this defense, and Florida State has done a great job. So I'm curious to see how Georgia fares there, even without guys like Jared Verse. At the same time, Georgia's going to have a lot of advantages, and when you look at this game, it's just hard to see a route for Florida State winning.
Georgia has talked so much about how when they're asked, what do you have to play for? This is not the playoff. They want to win this game for these seniors, to get them to 50 wins, to put them in the record books for however long that record would stand. Does that give this game a little something extra for Georgia?
I think so, and I think in a situation like this, you're looking for stuff like that, right? I mean, these guys are going to prepare. They're going to want to play for each other. I think that Kirby Smart and his staff deserve so much credit for I know culture is such a buzzword that we use, but when you listen to how a lot of these guys talk like Kirby does, and that's not necessarily great for us, but it's a reflection of the control that he has with his program. So,
and how locked in they kind of stay on that message.
I mean, there's a reason these guys have kept winning, and the only person who's beaten them now in 3 years is Saban, right? Twice. So there's a reason for that, and they deserve credit, and I have no doubt that they're going to be motivated, and they're going to I don't think you're going to see a Georgia team sleepwalking through this because of the opponent. I do think they're going to be locked in.
We'll see if Georgia can at least end this season on a high note with a win in the Orange Bowl. Thanks to all of you for watching. Make sure you go to ajc.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel to find more videos just like this one.